Imagine being an elite investigator and finding a guy who claims he is just a chaperone for a girl who literally just leveled a city block. GD is out here giving off major "I am just the babysitter" vibes while looking like a final boss, and Javier Karma is absolutely not buying the cap. GD tries to play the diplomat, pointing out that the spicy red dragon hasn't actually caught a murder charge yet, so maybe everyone should just go home and grab a snack. But Javier is a typical government simp for jurisdiction and decides that playing hero is more important than his own survival. Local investigator discovers that being an S-rank superhuman doesn't mean you are safe from a reality check.
Javier gets triggered, screams about his authority, and activates the Sword of RA, which is basically a giant glowstick fueled by his own ego.
The screen is basically blinded by Javier's ultimate technique, and he really thinks he is doing something here.
He is putting his whole soul into this attack, hoping to vaporize the man who is clearly out of his league, but spoilers, it is not going to work out for him. In the middle of all that fire and light, GD just decides to turn off Javier's relevance. He vanishes and pulls the classic "nothing personal kid" move, reappearing right behind the investigator before the poor guy can even finish his sentence.
Javier realizes he is in deep trouble when his high-rank senses tell him there is a monster breathing down his neck.
The Sword of Ra is still out here looking pretty, but the man holding it is currently shaking in his boots as Jatai prepares to drop a truth bomb.
GD tells him to listen quietly, and this is where the psychological trauma begins. He starts describing a future where Javier is a literal vegetable, losing his limbs and his eyes to a monster he wasn't fast enough to stop. It is cold, it is savage, and it is absolutely terrifying. The mental assault is so intense that Javier is basically experiencing his own death in real time. GD isn't even touching him yet, but he is already dismantling the man's sanity, promising him a life of darkness and regret if he keeps trying to play the hero. Physical wounds? Those are easy to heal in this world.
But GD is an expert at imprinting primal fear that no doctor can fix.
He decides to wipe Javier's memory of the conversation, but leaves the soul-crushing terror behind as a little souvenir for his arrogance.
The red dragon is watching all of this with her jaw on the floor, realizing that the guy she thought was a weak human is actually a nightmare in human skin.
GD turns to her and offers a deal: live in his house, get protection, and have whatever she wants, as long as she obeys the king. BOM, our resident green dragon, has to step in and play the big sister role because Red is currently having a mental breakdown. GD officially rebrands her as Yuyorium, named after the summer season, which is honestly too cute for a girl who was just trying to burn everything down. Plot twist of the century. The GD we just saw bullying an S-rank investigator was actually just a clone this whole time. The real GD is currently on a jungle safari in the Amazon, proving that he can ruin your life and go on vacation at the same exact time. While his clone is babysitting dragons in the city, the real GD is tracking down the next sister.
He is sitting in the rainforest like it is a local park, while the gold dragon is lurking nearby, wondering why this weird human is talking to himself in his smartwatch.
We get a flashback to the gold dragon's past lives, where she was basically a superstar idol who lived for the applause. She was the center of attention, but as we all know, fame in the dragon world usually ends with a lot of fire and a lot of dead fans.
Being loved by many is glamorous until you realize that humans are actually obsessed weirdos.
Goldie chose isolation in the jungle because beasts and bugs are way less creepy than fanboys who follow you home. She is currently obsessed with human tech, which is basically her only hobby left. GD calls her out for hiding, and she is shocked that he knows she is a dragon.
She tries to act tough, but she is basically just a blonde girl in a white dress who is lonely as hell.
When he mentions he knows the green dragon, she starts sniffing him like a confused puppy. Goldie admits that humans are scary, not because they are strong, but because they are persistent and have zero boundaries. She is tired of the weird looks and the stalkers, which is why she is living in the middle of nowhere like a survivalist. GD asks the most important question: does she like bread? She tries to maintain her dragon dignity, claiming she doesn't need to eat, but GD just snaps his fingers and opens a portal to a literal carb-filled subdimension. The smell of fresh pastries is the ultimate dragon repellent. Or in this case, dragon bait. He pulls out a bag filled with donuts and blueberry egg tarts, and Goldie's "I am a majestic creature" act evaporates faster than a drop of water on a hot stove. Jidi tells her to stop being a jungle hermit and come live with her sisters where it is safe and, more importantly, where there is unlimited dessert. She tries to remember what her mom said. Welcome back to the concrete jungle where dragons are the new neighbors. We start with a beautiful view of the city, but don't let the scenery fool you, because things are about to get chaotic. Meet our resident red-haired menace, Yoriam. She is chilling on the balcony looking like she is done with life, and honestly, standing there with a cigarette in her mouth is such a mood. Suddenly, we get a glimpse of some serious trauma.
A hooded figure and a terrifying glare from Jidi make her realize she is in deep trouble.
Her only internal response? A very relatable fuck. While Red is busy having an existential crisis, BOM is watching her from the shadows. She looks innocent, but in these stories, the quiet ones are always the ones you need to watch out for. Enter the gold dragon, Gul, who is basically a walking stomach. She is following Jidi home because he has the good snacks, and she is currently obsessed with the sausage rolls from this world. She takes one bite of a macaron and basically sees God. She claims this crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside magic is way better than anything back in her home world of Escalifa. BOM welcomes them back with that fake nice energy we all love to hate. She immediately starts complimenting Gul on how pretty she has gotten, and you can practically feel the awkwardness in the air. Gul is a total softie and goes in for the big sister hug.
She is shocked to find out BOM is already living here with Jidi, probably wondering what kind of harem situation she just walked into.
Red finally decides to join the party, looking absolutely miserable. Jidi just gives her the cold shoulder, and you can tell these two are going to be a match made in hell. Gul immediately starts nagging Red about her smoking habit. She is out here giving a health lecture to a literal dragon, telling her that red dragons always do things that are bad for them. Red has zero patience for this little chicklet. She grabs Gul by the face and threatens to rip her beak out if she doesn't shut up. Talk about a warm sisterly welcome, right? The group sits down to talk ages, and it is hilarious. BOM claims she is 20, Gul says she is 10, and Red is sitting there looking like she is ready to fight anyone who calls her a kid.
Red reveals she is actually 16 and reminds everyone that dragons grow way faster than humans.
She flexes her cool adult vibes while Gul just tries to look impressive in the background. Jidi decides it is time for some official branding. He reveals that Yoriam is the name he gave Red, and BOM is already rocking her seasonal name like a pro.
Gul realizes the pattern and decides she wants in on the naming scheme.
Jidi confirms her name will be Ugul, representing fall, because apparently, they are a seasonal idol group now. Jidi points to the blue dragon egg and says its name will be Jul, the winter season. He warns them that it is a polymorph and they need to be careful because the birth is coming soon. Now for the fun part, the rules. Jidi puts his foot down and tells them they have to stay within the fence of his supervision. No sneaking out and no secrets allowed in this house. Red is not a fan of this total surveillance. She straight up asks Jidi if he is a commie for wanting to control everything they do.
The look on their faces is priceless as they realize Jidi isn't joking.
To get them integrated into society, Jidi decides they need a shopping trip. They need legal IDs and actual supplies if they are going to live as humans without getting arrested immediately. Jidi hands over his card and tells them to spend as much as they want. Big mistake. Huge.
Gul is practically sparkling with greed, and Red is already thinking about what she can buy.
These girls take unlimited literally. We see a montage of bank transactions that would make a billionaire sweat. They finally hit the credit limit after spending over $41,000. They come home with a literal mountain of boxes. Gul feels a tiny bit bad about the credit limit, but mostly she is just excited to show off her new wardrobe to Mr. Jidi. Gul goes into full fashion show mode. She is trying on everything from hipster glasses to schoolgirl skirts, looking like she just raided an entire mall in one afternoon. She even bought a matching outfit for Jidi, which is actually kind of sweet.
He gives her a rare compliment, and she is so happy she looks like she might actually explode into glitter.
Red didn't just buy clothes, she went for the heavy metal. She reveals a brand new sword to replace her old one. GD actually admits she picked a decent weapon, which is high praise from him. BOM, on the other hand, didn't spend thousands on vanity. She bought a single potted plant. GD is confused, but BOM seems to find peace in the most random things. She explains that watching the plant flower will create a memorable experience. The way she looks at that little plant is actually kind of creepy, like she is planning something deep.
BOM keeps talking about things lasting forever with a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes.
She is definitely the final boss of this household, and GD knows he has his hands full.
The girls realize that just eating and drinking isn't enough entertainment for their long lives.
They ask GD if there is a way to get the full human experience while staying under his thumb. GD has the perfect solution for 3 chaotic dragons: misery. He pulls out entrance applications for Lair Academy. The dragon sisters are back from their interviews, and the energy is already chaotic. Gul looks like she is about to have a literal heart attack because the interview took way longer than expected. Our resident Gul dragon is spiraling into a pit of anxiety, convinced that while the others passed, she is going to be the only failure left behind. Honestly, her worst-case scenario imagination is on another level, and the red dragon is already sick of her drama. Enter GD, the man of the house, looking as unbothered as ever.
Gul immediately launches herself at him, crying like she just survived a war.
He just pats her head and tells her to chill because there is no way she failed.
To stop the waterworks, GD reveals he brought home a mystery gift. The smell alone has Gul drooling, and she is already guessing it is bread or macarons. But nope, GD has something even better planned for these hungry lizards. GD decides to go full theater kid and starts acting out a dinner show scene. He introduces Gul as if she is some world-famous pop star named Baby Yellow. It is incredibly cringy, but hey, it works to distract the anxious mess. The host jokes about her living on morning dew, but our girl is ready to feast. The big reveal is finally here: 2 boxes of glorious, steaming fried chicken. It is a simple human dish, but to these dragons, it is like looking at a mountain of gold. Even the rebellious Urium is struggling to keep her cool. She tries to act like it is just fried bird, but her eyes are practically popping out of her head. The aroma is doing numbers on her pride, and she is seconds away from folding. BOM tries to be the sweet one and invites GD to eat with them, blushing like a total anime trope. But our MC has zero time for domestic bliss right now because his watch starts buzzing with an important call. It is the Lair admissions office calling. They are not just calling to say hi, they have some spicy news about the interviews. Apparently, there was a slight issue, and by issue, they mean one of the girls was too good. Turns out, UBOM did not just pass, she got a perfect score. The instructors were basically worshipping the ground she walked on. She is so talented it is actually making the human staff feel insecure, which is peak dragon energy. The school was so thirsty for her talent that they offered her the lead role in the entrance ceremony. The catch? She straight up said no. The admissions officer is begging GD to convince her, but he is not about that stage dad life. GD shut them down instantly. If BOM does not want to do it, she is not doing it. End of story. He hangs up and heads to the balcony, where Urium is lurking in the shadows like a moody teenager. Urium starts roasting the seasonal names GD gave them, calling the whole thing a cringy game of house. She is tired of the mystery and wants to know why he is so obsessed with sending them to this elite academy. GD keeps it simple, he is sending them there to get what they want. For Urium, that means a good fight. She is skeptical, though.
She thinks everyone at Lair is just a weak kid, and she is itching for someone on her level.
She turns the heat up and challenges GD directly. She wants him to fight her properly to prove he is actually strong enough to keep her under control.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a sword, and her red eyes are glowing with bloodlust.
She is flexing her power, looking for any sign of weakness in him. She knows he is strong, but she wants to see the full extent of the monster hiding behind that tired face. This girl is a total battle junkie, and I am here for it. GD just gives her the cold shoulder and tells her to go inside and eat her chicken. It is a total power move that leaves her fuming. She calls him a goddamn bore, but we all know who is really in charge here. One bite of that crispy chicken and Uriam's anger completely evaporates. She is instantly won over by the flavor, proving that the way to a dragon's heart is definitely through their stomach. So much for that dramatic fight challenge. Now we get a look at Lair Academy itself. It is a massive, high-tech institution on the island of Abundance. This place is basically the Harvard for superhumans, training kids with insane blessings and abilities to become the world's next big heroes. But do not let the shiny exterior fool you. This place is a hotbed for elitism and hierarchy. It is filled with the spoiled children of CEOs and royal families. If you are not a genius or a noble, you are basically dirt under their expensive boots. Gul and BOM are already rocking their new uniforms, and they look adorable. Gul is convinced GD must be some secret billionaire's kid because of how much money he dropped to get them in. I mean, he does have that mysterious sugar daddy vibe.
The relief of being accepted is hitting them hard. They are just happy to be staying together, but there is one person missing from the fashion show.
Uriam had to go to the Blue Dragon School for her practical exams, and GD went with her. GD is acting as her chaperone, which is basically a fancy word for babysitter. Lair requires adults to supervise these immature superhumans so they do not accidentally level a building when they get cranky. And let us be real, Uriam is a walking disaster. BOM explains that Uriam's test involves dueling other cadets. Gul is hyped to go watch the carnage, but apparently, it is a closed-door event. No fans allowed, which is a total bummer for our little gold dragon.
The other students are already whispering about the new girls, wondering which noble house they belong to.
They are attracting attention just by existing. These dragons are about to turn the social hierarchy of the school upside down. Over at the Blue Dragon Arena, the fighting is already intense. Cadets are swinging wooden swords and slamming each other into the ground. It is a brutal display of skill, but compared to what our dragons can do, it is basically a playground scuffle. Enter head Professor Yuan. He's got long silver hair and that classic I am too polite to be a good guy energy.
He introduces himself with a smile that definitely does not reach his eyes.
Total red flag, if you ask me. The crowd is simping for him because he is a rich war hero, but GD just stares him down. The announcer calls for numbers 124 and 7 to enter the ring. It is finally time for the main event, and the atmosphere is electric. Uriam steps into the cage, looking like she would rather be anywhere else. Her opponent is a blonde girl who looks serious, but Uriam is already gripping her sword with a terrifying intensity. She is bored and looking for any reason not to just walk away.